Hello, recording people. All right, we're gonna get the Discord booted up, and we'll rock and roll on that. Give me just one moment here. You guys can see and hear my screen. I'm gonna pull up the comments as well for social media. And good morning, Discord people. All right, we're in the Discord. Let me share my screen on here for you guys, and we'll get rock and rolling. Can you guys hear me and or see my screen? Ideally, it's a little bit of all the above. All right, good morning, Carrie. How are you? How was your evening? Evening into early morning. It is Tuesday, by the way. We had a short week last week. We had quad witching last Friday. We had pretty insane market rally yesterday. We had the ceasefire situation with Iran, Israel, and then that kind of broke down. So a lot more tension in the headlines today. So we'll see. What's up, Onrod? How you doing? All right. Also, let me make sure I'm not muted on the live stream. I am a bit of a fumble with the social media. So, all right. What are you guys all watching this morning? Anybody blow through all their buying power already? What's up, Nikki? Adrian. So we got Jenny G, Chris M, Takak, Yojo. Let's see who else here. We got, it's JD. A lot of new faces in here. Jerry 9258, how you doing, buddy? All right. So we are pre-market. I just have the top gainers list here. I have the top losers list here, but I'm probably not going to look at that today just because the Iran-Israel situation. Not that it typically affects the low float fast-moving trash so much, but I don't want that money to ebb out of that in case there's some crazy catalyst, you know. So those are already pretty strong to the downside and usually for good reason. So I don't want to have exposure to those in this kind of market. Oh, Snowflake's here. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I gotta stop being patronizing. How's it going, buddy? We got V Michelle as well. Yes, you are here. Good stuff. All right, so at the top of the list here, I think ONMD is probably going to be the number one. It's going to be our jockey for the day. It's got a 10.39 million market cap, and we got about 2.5 times that in volume for the day. Now it is a sub-dollar stock, and it's the only one here that's in the top 5 or 6 in the top gainers list pre-market. So it's going to be kind of an interesting watch. I think this is where we're going to see a lot of the push and pull. Secondarily. I kind of like INM, but I don't like the price action. I don't like the 1 minute chart. The volume isn't there, right? So it's kind of difficult to see how inconsistent that is. Don't really like that because typically when we're trading these scalps, what we want, one of the simplest strategies I think we could use is just pick a level, right? And then wait till the price pushes up over it. And then you can always wait for a pullback and then a push above that. And then you just get in right there, right? So that's one. The other one is just if we don't get that pullback, you take a similar entry, right? So very simple, very straightforward strategy. Doesn't require a whole lot. It's just a little bit of common sense, and that, you're choosing 2 exit points, right? You want to exit if the price falls down here because it's no longer going in the direction that's going to make you money, or you exit somewhere up here as it's pushing into strength because you just want to get out and that's your job, right? Doesn't matter what happens above that. Doesn't matter what happens below here. Your job is to trade from here to there, and you get in, get out successfully, right? So as it's pushing, if we want that kind of push to sustain, we need volume, and that's why I don't really like to trade stuff like this where the volume is so inconsistent, because what'll happen is, we'll get in. Let me just erase all these. We'll get in right here. Whoops, I don't know where my line just went. We'll get in right here, and then it'll stop, and then it'll just kind of do one of these weird, trickle down situations there. And then, maybe it'll go up and then maybe it'll go down, and it doesn't end well most of the time. So I just don't like trading those. We really just need that strong directional volume, and something that has 2.5 times the market cap in volume is much more preferred. So I do have 50% limit buys set up here. I'm just going to have this set up to the last price. I might trade one pre-market, but I really got to see some sustained volume here. Let me catch up. Oh, hello, alarm clock. What are you doing today? What a jerk. All right. Ooh, yeah, I'm kind of liking it. Not quite ready to jump in just yet, but I do kind of like what I'm seeing here. Let me catch up on the chat here. V. Michelle says, I started doing some research last night on breakouts and when we should or should not anticipate a retracement. I feel my inner Pookie was activated. Interesting. And then Duco says, hello, who's this? New stream, who dis? What's going on, buddy? Are you driving today? Or is that a dumb question because you're driving every day? Yeah, I knew it. See, that's my consistent win rate. I'm just, I ask things I already know. All right. So we got about 9 minutes till market open. I'm just going to kind of peek back here at the tops list. So for this account, I'm just going to trade 2 equity trades today, and then we can look at the 15-minute, the breakout strategy if you guys want. But I'm just looking for 2 equity trades on this account. I already took my Risky Biscuits trade and kind of had to step away yesterday, so I got spanked on an SPX trade. So my plan dictates that I have a mandatory cool off. So I just got to kind of wait a little bit. I don't really like too much of this other stuff here. It's just too low volume. There's not enough directional volume on the lower stuff. So we really only have like 6 or 7 top stocks to look at. And they're not really strong at the moment, so there's no need to jump in. You wish Nikki did the live trading? She can hop up here. She can do the live trading. Nikki, are you down? You want to do that? I think it'll be fun. Oh, that's a nice view, man. Look at that. Well, let me pull it up over here for everybody else. All the else's. Look at that. You better not be speeding, sir. I don't see your I don't see the needle here on your speedometer. Interesting. Are you on a safari? It kind of looks like it. It's a Kansas safari. He's there to hunt corn farmers or something. Kenny Penny, your first penny this week, not so nice. You mean you moved it down? Because of yesterday? Hey, what's up, Charlie? Good morning. All right, Kenny, did you get some value for that penny? Did the value of that 1 cent coin increase? And is that knowledge something you can apply tomorrow, today, I guess? You learned a lot? Okay. Then I would say it's worth a penny, right? It's worth just taking a hit and you walk away with some valuable data that you can study. Ooh, I really like this. See, now this is like the perfect setup. It just needs volume, right? It's got to push. And that's kind of what we're not seeing. I'm not jumping in anything right now because I don't see good, strong volume, right? So a lot of the stuff that has volume, like this one, is just kind of pulling back. And I don't like this chart. There's too many wicks. That's NA, Neurolabs. You learned a lot. I like that. That's good. Keep learning. Don't ever stop learning. Farouk, how are you? Good morning. How's your Starbucks? Is it Farouk or Farouk? It's Rook, right? I'll figure it out one of these days. Who? Rook? One day. Okay. All right. I did it. See, that's what I was trying to tell everybody. It's like, it's Farouk. Pookie, medical advice, please. What's going on? What's the question? I'm all about giving out medical advice without I'm practicing without a license. It's a Class E felony or something. Gout and coffee, okay? I can't give you medical advice. Insert into the rectum. I mean, if your kidneys are getting in the way of you enjoying that coffee, that's one way to do it. What are your concerns? What do you think, that the coffee is going to exacerbate your gout? The acid? I could see. I mean, I would confirm it. Maybe just Google that. I can't really tell you, but I don't know. I'm not immediately aware of anything that would cause that. I mean, maybe something you put in the coffee might, but you might just want to Google that or chat GPT that, or just avoid the coffee if you're not sure. I really, really like what INM is doing here. We got about 4 minutes, 45 seconds until market open, and there's a lot of really good setups here. We just need that volume. And this is kind of what sucks about mornings like this for a lot of traders is you see all these volume, all these setups that are like super high quality. And we want to jump in when we're new because we say, oh, look at all this extra potential. Like if I'm looking for a breakout above here and I can get in here, that's extra profit, right? And that's that doesn't always work like that. So we gotta be careful with this stuff. So I'm just kind of watching the market, seeing who's doing what, and we'll just wait and see. So my plan for today is to take two 50% trades. We'll do that. We'll do that on equity side only, and then taking a 6% profit. Now, if I win the first trade, I am in theory done for the day because I'm 3% up. But since I'm live streaming and all that, I'll do 2 trades just because I know you guys like to see a little bit more trading. And then after the first 15 minutes, the first 20 minutes or so, we can start looking for those opening range breakouts. So let me just catch up on the chats here. Need to get some adrenochrome. Okay. So Porter says, I'm off 2 pots a day to nothing last week with 3 hours of sleep last 3 days. That is so bad for your heart, man. Whew. I mean, I get it though. You gotta take care of yourself. Hey, Death Gun, how's it going? Good morning. Good morning. Janie G is watching Tesla and Meta this morning. I see some promising trades, but I have to see what happens at market open. Yeah, that's it. So if we look at Tesla, all right, let's do the pre-market business. If we just look at the last, 15 minutes or so, the last high and low, right? We got a pretty crazy range there. So at market open, you've got this range that you could break over up to maybe here or maybe here into a new high. I'd be down with that, but it really just kind of depends on what happens at market open because this is a pretty strong move, relative move, I should say, into open. And you get about 2 minutes left. So if you want to scalp a call, there's potential. I would, if I were doing that, obviously I can't on this account because the account's too small, but I would personally just keep that position as small as possible. There is a lot of strength on it, but that strength is coming off of a lot of bearishness after hours. And I think Tesla just got or is getting slammed with a Model S lawsuit or something just happened about that. So that's worth keeping an eye on as well. Not that it ever matters on Tesla, but you never know. And then Meta, I'm personally bearish on Meta for a little bit. Long term, yes, super profitable, yes, blah, blah, blah. But I think they have a lot of short-term shakeout. So we'll have to see where they go. But, that's kind of my immediate assessment just based on their company and pretty much everything they're going through. Now, again, we're in kind of crazy market times, so we can't really rely on that stuff. So you can make a plan for both directions and then just execute on the one that happens, right? Okay, I got about a minute and a half here, so I'm just going to kind of peek back at these guys. Go back to the 1 minute. Porter says, I had GPT do that when I was going through the planning harmless straight trades, had everything else correct. That's awesome. So it thought Biden was still the president. That's amazing. FedEx earnings after hours and the founder just died. Yeah, I saw that yesterday. Crazy times. All right, we got about a minute left, and I think I'm really going to be watching NKTR. This one and OnMed, I think, are probably going to be my 2 top watches. So on this account, I'm using 50% per trade, which is $78.17.5, give or take, right? So as long as this is below 75 cents, I can take an entry on that if I like what I see. So let me just plot a line there. Because I have to buy at least 100 shares, right? So we got about 20 seconds left to market open, and then my Weeble is going to go freaking out, and then we change this to the 1 day. And then these numbers right here in the next 10 seconds, this will all change. They'll change to the pre-market guys. Well, not pre-market guys, but we'll see who's kind of pushing it open. 3, 2, 1, boom. All right. So IBO. There we go. So Weeble does this like really weird thing where it switches them. So like I'm on the top gainers list and it shows all the negative ones. I love Weevil. Top losers. You're a loser. There we go. NA's looking good. Kind of like the spice on that one. Let me just peek around a little bit. Just gonna peek and see who's doing what today. Don't want to go too crazy. This one's got some promise here. INM. Ooh. All right. So I really kind of like these. And I'm just going to use my brackets. I'm just going to hit Control 9, and that's going to set a take profit order. So if we could break over these guys with some intent, then I will, I'll take an entry on INM. Otherwise, I think I'm going to be looking at NA. Yeah, I think it's NA and OnMed today. So let me just get this ready here. Okay, so there's the response, and then we'll see if there's enough strength to just keep pushing it. So I always like to describe this as like a marital argument here. This is the initial, like, you've been cheating on me. You know, I don't want you to talk to my sister anymore. And then this is like, sorry, I was drunk. I thought it was you. And then they respond to that by saying, no, you're sleeping on the couch. Get out. So push, pull, push. That's what I'm looking for. Until that happens, ooh, I like this one though. So I switched over to INM. I'm just waiting to see which one of these is going to break to the upside first. I really like this. All right, so there's the heartbeat, but we're seeing chops to the downside here. So this is not quite ready just yet. It's getting there though. And this is INM. Okay, so, all right, so now this is push territory. So I'm going to draw a line right here. And then the volume just died. So we're going to hang out on that one for a little bit. This is NA, if you can't see that. A lot of potential strength coming in here. I'm going to go ahead and take my entry on this one. Got filled. And then I set a 6% take profit on that. I'm just going to let it cook for a little bit. And if this one goes up and hits the target, I should therefore be done for the day. And I'm willing to bail this one out. So I think what I'll do is I'll maybe hang on to this one for a little bit. And if I want to add a second buy, I can. I don't necessarily want to jump into a separate trade. But I also don't want it going too far down here. So we'll wait and see where it goes. And actually what I'm going to do is I'll draw my line right here, 3307, and then I'll just cancel this order. And then if I want to place some more, I can, and then I can that'll lower my average, and then I can push it down. Oh, what's up, Chad? Breckle. Let me just peek at these others as well. So I'm not too interested in trying to catch a bottom or anything like that. So I'm just going to grab some and see where it goes. INM looks like it's getting ready, but it's still not quite pushing yet. So that one's not ready. Hey, Patricia Parker, how's it going? We're doing okay. We're just trading some equity this morning. How about yourself? Yeah, I really like INM here. So if I were to look for an entry on that one, it would be like right here. There it is. Boom. See, that's the kind of move that I typically like, but it has to go, 6%. So for that, like the target would be around here. And I just don't want to fight with the stuff to the left here just yet. So I'll stick with NA for now, and we'll see where that goes. But that's, that was a textbook move right there. I just happen to be in this other one, and I want to keep some cash on the side for that position, just so that I can move my cost basis down if I have to. Onrod, you're not using the 5 candle rule or anything? No, not for this. I'm just trading volume in the market open. Just good old-fashioned volume. So like right here, this would be an okay opportunity to add more, but I don't want to add more this close to my my initial buy. We're within that 10%, and that just wouldn't push my cost basis down very far. It would be like right here on 30, and I'd really, really prefer it to be down here if I'm going to do that. And of course, that's risky biscuits, because then on those initial shares, you're taking pretty heavy drawdown. So then the priority becomes to reduce the position size right at break even. So we do a little bit of math in that case. And then let me see here. All right, I'm just going to keep watching these. I still like OnMed. I think that one's got some potential today. I don't really like NKTR. That one is just not, that's just that decay of death. So don't want to commit any money to that. I think INM is spicy. I think OnMed is spicy. This one's probably going to see like an ebb and flow of volume. So when the volume rushes in, you'll probably see little pushes to the upside, and then it'll probably fall off immediately. Just like we saw in INM, that push and then immediately pull back. So this stuff is pretty risky here in the first, 15 minutes of the market. So, but we're still getting a lot of volume on NA over here. So I'm pretty excited to see where this one goes. All right, there's that kicker, just like we looked at yesterday on SPX. So big move either way when those happen. In most cases, I should say. So it was filled. Now let's see if that, if it doesn't sell off, it should push to the upside, right? So everything I'm seeing so far points to a push to the upside. And we got a lot of algo sitting on this thing. What's the float on this guy? It's 4 million float, 17.14 million outstanding shares. So they've got 4 times as many shares restricted for an offering. So yeah, this is not one we're going to be holding for days. We want to just get out. What's going on, Tesla? That one blast? Oh, no, I did not. Look at that. That's insane. Woo. Now I'm on the 1 minute, so it looks drastic, but that is crazy. Patricia Barger, do I play any games? Yeah, I play Arma, I play Overwatch, I play Diablo, I play a bunch of stuff. Some Civilization Revolution. Haven't played it on here, but that's about to change. Look at Tesla. Woo-wee. That is crazy. But I mean, you gotta wait for that confirmation, right? That's insanity. All right, NA has also kind of pushed down a little bit, so we're getting closer to my range here. So let me just draw some boxes here. We like the boxes. That's going to be my oops. That's going to be my oops. All right. Go ahead and make this one a little bit yellow, and then we'll make a larger one here. Now, obviously, if this is not something that you're ever comfortable with, I don't ever encourage anyone to hold drawdown, but I can't legally tell you what to do. I'm personally okay with it, and I do it a lot, especially on these low float, high volatility stocks. But if you don't like red, you would just cut your position immediately, right? Because in that point, you're just trying to get the position to go up. You don't want it to go down at all. All right, so we're starting to see a little bit of support stepping in here, but it's not quite there yet. Def Gun. Old me would have gone all in right then. Are you talking about on Tesla or on one of the other guys? Kenny Penny PLTR as well. Nice, nice. Ooh, that's a little 5 candle for you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then who can tell me why I wouldn't have gotten in right here? Or right here, I guess, technically. Who knows the magic words? I know V. Michelle does. Too much risk. All right, there you go. Because this risk range, right? Because your entry's up here and your stop loss is down here. That's too risky. Right? So we don't need to take any crazy risks on these. All right, so we're in the yellow box. This is good. So we're getting pretty close, right? This is on NA on this one. So I might be getting close to buying my second buy here. Okay. It's halted to the downside. Dang it. I must have missed the fill. That's okay. All right. So we'll have to wait about 5 minutes on that one. We are also about 5 minutes away from the 15-minute candle close. Where's my first buy? I got in at 31.20. I got 2 shares, so nothing huge. No huge position on that one. NKTR. All right. NAINM. Ooh-wee. Look at that. So this is probably what stole our volume a little bit. I know there was plenty of volume on the NA. People just wanted to cash out. So these are the ones, this one just shot straight up pre-market, and then kind of puttered around, pulled back, and then shot again. So higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, all that good stuff. So higher high. Now, if we don't see a higher low here, a lot of those holders are going to start getting panicky, and they might bail on that. So I'm not going to jump into this one, but I'll watch the setup with you guys. Death Gun says, hey, Pookie, how do you know how to set up your boxes? Is it based off previous candles in that same range? Are you talking about on NA over here, these boxes? I'm just drawing a box, the range of each of these 3 candles here. The reason for that is because this is it's a distribution gap. So we've got supply above and demand down here at the bottom. And this is just pure clean volume, and that's what I look for, because those are typically filled, right? So you can see it fills up, it fills down. So as soon as that starts moving back up, I can place my second buy, given that there should just be directional volume there. There shouldn't be any contention or push-pull. Disney just hit take profit on INM 7%. Beautiful. And you got out, right? In and out. Yeah, anytime, Declan. And at the end of the day, right, none of this technical analysis really matters. It's just to help you identify kind of where you can justify exposing yourself to risk. And sorry, I got something in my eye. And if you're someone like, again, if you don't like drawdown, you wouldn't be in stuff like this. You would just set an immediate stop loss and an immediate take profit. And I got a bracket there for that. And that keeps you out of situations where you've got, like a double-digit red number where you have to manage the position. So I kind of went into this one with the intention of managing it. Sorry, right? This thing in my eye is like bugging me. So I'm okay with it personally. But if I was just doing breakout scalps, for example, I wouldn't have held that. Does that make sense? And I'm kind of making an exception here for NA just because of the market open volume, as well as the number of algos that were stacked on this order book. So let's peek back over at Tesla here real quick. Ooh-wee. That is a pretty substantial drop there. That's a 3% move on Tesla to the downside. And so like with something like that, there's really, like, you never got to pull back, right? I mean, you got a little bit of a wick test right here, but I'm willing to wager that was like a split second. And then it probably just slammed to the downside. So if anybody grabbed puts on that, congrats. But your window to get in on that was insanely small and insanely risky. So I don't know. That would have been pretty tough, I think. Yeah. Oh, NVIDIA calls. Wow, look at you. That's awesome. That's a much cleaner, like, you get some separation there, right? You got the break, some separation, at least for a couple of minutes, right? And then a pull down to the area, and then a push to the upside. That's much, much cleaner. And you got that nice small risk right there. That's beautiful. How far up are you on that? All right, V. Michelle, have fun. Enjoy your day. You're up 275%. That's beautiful. And do you have a plan for securing some of those profits? Because we got a 5 candle run. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 so far. Right? We can always put a partial stop here to lock some of those profits if we want. $285. Good stuff. Way to lock them in. So those 15-minute opening ranges on these are going to be pretty wide, right? Because all these moves happen within the first 15 minutes. That's insane. So this is a day where you probably wouldn't want to use that 15-minute strategy to trade outside, right? Oh, all right. So we are open on NA. So I just got to peek back over at this one. Oh, no. Is it going to step in early? I really hope it doesn't. I kind of wanted to come down here to this orange box. We'll have to wait and see. That's a pretty potent candle. I don't like that. There's no strength here just yet. But I could see why a lot of people would want to add right here. And I kind of hope that doesn't turn into like a FOMO rally. I was really hoping to see like this down here in this orange box. But we might end up getting our push back up here. And if we think about it, right? Like if it doesn't come down here and I don't get my second ad, what do we think is going to happen, right? If it's going to push all the way up here, it's going to do it anyway. And I'm still just right back where I was right here. So I don't have to worry about it. But if it pushes down here and then I place my second buy, like I planned to, then it pushes up. I can reduce the position earlier, still take 6% profit and just be done. Either way, it's the same end result. So if it doesn't come down here, I'm not going to feel bad for not putting more money into it, right? If it does, then sure, I'll play that game. But my plan isn't to add up here. It's to add down here. Do I do options trading too? Yeah. Yeah, we can. Well, it's the first 15 minutes, right? So what I'll do right now is I'll go through and I'll plot out my ranges, right? So after the first 15 minutes, I like to plot the opening range break on some of the bigger companies here. Now, these are insanely wide this morning. So we'll plot NVIDIA, we'll plot Tesla. Congrats on that NVIDIA call, by the way. That's a good move. Ooh. We'll do some Palantir as well. We'll do one of those. So you guys can see these ranges on this they're pretty wide, right? It's kind of crazy, kind of insane. And then in the next 3 minutes or so, every 5 minutes, we can look for a candle to close outside of one of those boxes. And then that tells us it's a confirmation for a trade in that direction. Not an entry confirmation, so we don't just jump in. We look at the 1 minute for that. But we establish a 15-minute range. Then we look for a 5-minute candle confirmation outside the range. And then we go to the 1 minute chart and we look for a low risk opportunity in that same direction. So we just come back here to the 1 minute. All right, so we're getting real close. I think I might just add this here. We're pretty soon. Just going to buy my 2 more here. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Get a little bit of a discount on that one. So now I'm going to set up a sell order for 2 shares right above my break even of 26.88. And I'm just going to hang out and place that order. Right? And then one of 2 things is going to happen. We're either going to get our push and we'll get back above my cost basis and all that good stuff. Oh, I guess I might take profit target as well. 24.48. Okay. And we're going to sell 2 shares. 24.48. All right. So then we'll just kind of hang out and oops, that's not what I wanted. No. We canceled that. That was the wrong number. 26.87 plus 6% is 28.48. I don't know why I said 24.48. My brain just shut off. 2 shares, 28.48. 28.48. And then place that order. And this will be my take profit order. So this will tell me, you know, this is my break even. This is priority number 1. I want to reduce my exposure, reduce my position size as soon as possible above my cost basis. And then up here, I want to take my profit on the 50% position to have the winning trade for the day. So I've taken my average from up here somewhere and moved it down here almost $5. So I like that. Let me catch up on the chat there. Oh, Jenny G, that is awesome. Let me just pull this up over here. Beautiful stuff. So you got a $306 profit on 3 contracts. Good stuff. Beautiful. So what are those, like 50% roughly? About 47%, 45%. Good stuff. That was a clean move on that. Congrats on that. Shows the striking date she had up to. Yeah. That's good stuff. Beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and just pop back over. We're about 10 seconds out from the 5-minute close. So as you can see, Tesla here is still in the range. NVIDIA is still in the range. They're not closing outside. So it's kind of got to wait 5 more minutes on those. We'll check Meta. Yes. And then, of course, we could do it for SPY as well, just to kind of draw the day out. That is a weird little outlier there. Come up to the 15-minute. So this is pretty good. I like this range on SPY a little bit more. 5-minute there. So we didn't get our 5-minute candle close on any of these. So this is not a good morning for that particular strategy. What's my biggest loss in trading? Myself? Or are you asking Jenny G? I've lost a bunch. Me? In the market, it was in dollar amounts, I would say probably about 180K, I think. If I had to realize a loss there. Or no, it might have been a little more. I can't remember off the top of my head. It was a little bit. Out of the market, it was like $500,000 because I got involved with one of my friends who was misrepresenting his skill set in retail or real estate. So we ended up getting hit with a bunch of fines and all that good stuff. So I don't do that anymore. But that's, you know, it was my fault for trusting him. But it was okay. Like, it's not like that. I make sure that none of my investments ever, you know, break me. So it was a risk. It was a business risk. It's all good. Jenny G, Pookie, I really appreciate you being here doing live trading. I'm glad you guys are here. It helps me to hear the thought process with live trading. Yeah, I'm glad you guys are here and get to watch. And you know, sometimes I take risky stuff, and I don't want you guys to copy me or anybody else. But you know, hopefully the process itself makes sense. GFED, I'm a beginner trader and loss yet was $30. That's good. That's good risk management if that's all you've lost so far. Yeah, Pookie's buying houses with $100. Yeah, after that real estate thing, I was like, you know what? That was a result of me not knowing what I didn't know. So we're gonna change that. So if you guys want, we can really buckle in and take this, you know, this small account here seriously and just do the compounding base hit stuff. And I can take this $100 and whatever dollars, and we can build it up into a, you know, like a 200K or something, and then just buy a house with that if you want. Houses are horrible investments, by the way, in terms of efficiency of capital. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up on the chat here. Your profits have outweighed your losses. I would say you're on the right track then. That's good stuff. I am happy for you. That's the goal, right? Do I watch Tasty Trade? No. I'm familiar with the name, but I don't, just from the platform. Is that a person? I don't really watch any other traders because a lot of them are just trying to sell you stuff. Oh, whereas here I am for free. We do offer paid stuff, but that's only to help you speed up the process. It's not like the only access you're going to get to us. Death Gun, I think I'm going to start a $100 account in Webull to do my own little challenge. I already feel much more confident in the market and not listening to, but it'll go back up when I approach losses. Got any suggestions from your own small accounts? Yeah, honestly, just prioritize, you know, not losing a bunch of money. You know, if that's your biggest obstacle and you have the understanding that losses are what takes people out of the market, and that's the only thing you can really control, then I think that already gives you a much healthier mindset when it comes to taking trades. Yeah, here I am for free. But a lot of people have a hard time overcoming that must trade, must profit mindset. And they end up just blowing through their money for no legitimate reason other than the fact that they want to succeed and don't know how. You know, and that can be very destructive, financially and mentally. You know, it's not fun to lose a bunch of money. Sorry, especially to lose, you know, over and over and over again. Because what you're doing is you're conditioning yourself to believe that, you know, like outside the market, we're conditioned to believe that extra effort results in extra compensation because you can do things like working overtime. You can take a second job. You can develop a skill set and then charge people to watch you provide a service for them. But in the market, you don't want to do a bunch. You really just want to get in and get out. That's your job, is just get in, get out. So if this becomes your lifestyle, you're going to have a very hard time. And I don't want that for you guys. It's a trading channel on YouTube that interviews successful traders, over like 1 million, who tell how they did it. Okay. That's pretty cool. I like the idea. Now, you know, as long as they don't just say that you can do it, right? Because I can tell you guys that all day long. You guys can all succeed, blah, blah, blah. I can say that. I don't know what kind of legal territory that puts me in, but I understand that everybody here has everything they need to succeed in the market. It's just a matter of connecting certain concepts and implementing them, right? And learning about yourself. Like, you have a brain, your brain functions, your fingers function, or you have some way to interface with some sort of electronic device that's internet connected, or you wouldn't be here, right? Ipso facto. So it really just kind of boils down to you having someone that can help you walk through yourself and understand that you actually can do this, and then being able to apply that consistently. And that's really all you need. Like, you're all going to take different routes to get there, but it's the same end result, you know, and that you either realize certain things and can enact them, or you don't and can't, you know, but it's all about what you convince yourself of. Never had Pookie again. I don't think I don't know. I don't think I'd like being on a show like that. I don't have an ego. Like, I know a lot of people are like, yeah, look at all this money. Look at my Lambo. Lambos are stupid. Just because you have disposable income doesn't mean you should potentially, you know, ruin someone else's life in traffic because they're nervous to drive around you, you know? Just kind of makes you a jerk. And yeah, that's another thing too, is I like that, you know, people are out there sharing their progress and sharing their successes and stuff. That's good for motivation, but if they're not sharing the process, it kind of is just showing off, you know? Sorry, let me just, you guys are chatty today. I love it. Keep it coming. No, they're open and transparent. They're like, this isn't for the weak. Yeah, see that? When I hear that, that's a red flag. Because that makes me think diamond hands, you know? Ooh, what is this? Yeah, I don't know how I missed that giant screenshot. So Snowflake, you made a 17.64% profit today overall? Craziness, sir. Let me hit some emojis on that. the pregnant man emoji on that. Good job, Porter. Proud of you. That's insane, man. Beautiful. And it's a $71 account. It was $61 when you started. So that's proof that you don't need a bunch of money to start doing this stuff. Sorry, let me just catch up on this. Oh, Deathgun, you caught up on 10 PBU classes last night? Good stuff, man. Which ones did you like? Will I do more live trading? Yeah, I do these. I do them Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Lee does the Wednesday ones. Monday and Friday are in premium, and then I have another one on Monday and lifetime. But you guys get the Tuesday and Thursday ones here in free. Charlie, you guys are awesome in person. I want to go back to Chicago. It was good. A lot of good times. As sadistic as it is, I enjoyed making you guys cry a little bit. Not you specifically, but 10 of you guys. I only set out to do one. It was good times. Yeah, I don't know what Snowflake's obstacle is here. It's got to be his phone or something. I don't understand it. And I hate it because I would love to have him in the chat. Are you able to hop on the mic? Do you want to just talk on the microphone? Oh, you mean live like this, not afraid to show the whole process like this? Yeah, I mean that. If you're going to show somebody the end result, you got to show them the bridge, right? You got to bridge the gap. Pal is starting soon. Okay, Porter, is that something you're able to stream? I can't pipe audio and stuff through here. the way it's currently set up. But I can end this one and you can slap this. Oh, Bull's doing it. Okay. All right. Is that right at 10 o'clock? I might have to jump off here, guys. Charge our tears. I try. It was just thoughts you guys were thinking. I didn't do anything. Take a train to Pookie's house. Oh no, I don't think it comes straight to my house. I mean, you can come near my house, but we'll have to pick you up or something. Take some Ubers, take a bus. I was just going through the basics, 1 through 8. I get angry at something else around video number 9, so I took a small, something else outside the market, I assume, or something in the video. For a second, my brain was like, he got mad. Thought you meant in the video. All right, looks like Bull is streaming in the trading floor, so all the premium members go ahead and hop over there. I'll update you guys in the chat about what I do here. I'm going to hop over there and help him out. So we'll be hanging out there. I'm just in NA, the trade, not the program, not in recovery. Austin does have a recovery meeting every Wednesday, though. So if that's something you're interested in, open up you a support ticket and talk to Nikki about that. But side note. All right, yeah, so let me end the stream here. I'll update you guys with NA. My plan is very simple. If it's going to go back up, it'll go back up, and then I'll reduce my position size at break even, and then I'll take my profit at 6% above that. And that'll be that. And my one and done for the day, right? That's all I care about. So I'll be back here Thursday morning in free for you guys again, and then Friday I'll be on the premium side, and we'll go from there. All right, thank y'all, and have a good morning.